What's up guys, Justin here with the CGEssentials.com, back with another Blender animation tutorial. So in today's video we're going to talk about how to create interior walkthrough animations inside of Blender. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so first off we're going to use this example model that I've downloaded from SKETCHFAB. So this is just a 3D scanned model of the Great Drawing Room by the Hallwell Museum. You can download this from SKETCHFAB and follow along. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk a little bit about how we create animations inside of Blender. So first things first, when you create an animation inside of Blender, the first thing you need is you need a camera. So right now I have a camera in here, but let's go ahead and start as if we didn't. So what we're going to do is I've got my camera inside of the 3D space. I'm just going to do a Shift A and I'm going to add a camera right here. And so you can see how that adds an object over here, which you can move around inside of Blender just like any other piece of 3D geometry. So you can scale it up and down, you can rotate it, you can do all those different things. But what we want to do in this case is we want to edit this camera. And so if we look at this right now, what this camera is doing is it's basically looking at a spot inside of our 3D space. And what we're going to do is we're going to animate the location and direction of the camera. And so the first thing we want to do when we add our camera is you can hit the 0 key on your numpad in order to jump into that camera view. So I'm hitting 0 on my numpad right now in order to do that. And so one thing you're going to want to do with your camera, this is going to be really important, is you're going to want to go into View, and under View Lock, with this camera active, you want to check on the button to lock camera to view. And so what that's going to do is now wherever you move around inside of the 3D space, the camera is going to move along with that. So for example, if you scroll up like this, notice how that camera is moving along with that. I'm just using the orbit button in order to look around. So one other thing to note about this is inside of the item settings, if you click on that with your camera active, notice how you're going to see the information in here for the camera location and rotation. And that can be really helpful for creating different kinds of animations. And so what we're going to do for right now is we're going to set our camera up right here. One thing I might do is I might go in and adjust my focal length on my camera so it's a little bit wider. So we're just going to, with the camera active, click on this little button right here, and under lens we're going to set our focal length to maybe something like 30 millimeters. What that's going to do is that's going to let us see more of the room for what we're doing right here. And so right now, if I was to click the play button, nothing happens, right? Because we haven't given Blender any information on what we want it to do with our camera. So what we need to do is, just like any other animation, we need to add keyframes for our camera location. And so you can do that in here. You can also go into your animation tab right here. I use this a lot for that kind of thing. And I'm going to go ahead and get into my camera view right here like this. But what I want to do at the moment is I want to create a very simple camera view. So I want to create a camera view where my camera moves across right here. And so I don't really need this second view right here. So I'm just going to right click in here and do a join areas and move this over to the left. And so what I want to do with my camera is I just want to select it by clicking on it right here. I'm going to tap the N key to open up this window. And all I want to do is I want to create an animation where my camera moves from left to right in here on this axis. Notice how right now this is moving diagonally. So what we can do in order to fix this is we're just going to go to a top-down view, and I'm just going to select everything by tapping A. I'm going to rotate this so that these are more well aligned with the axes over here. But then if I jump back into my camera view and select it, I can adjust just maybe like the Y location like this in order to create a sideways movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this camera, and I'm going to click on the button for Insert Keyframe. And in this case, I'm going to set a keyframe for location and rotation. What that's going to do is that's going to keyframe your location and your rotation of your camera object inside of Blender. And so it's 0 frames right now. This camera is sitting right here. Let's say I wanted to move sideways at maybe like 60 frames. So you can kind of click play here in order to get a feel for how long that's going to be. But at 60 frames, what I want is I want my camera Y location to be something like -4 meters. So notice how I'm just clicking and dragging in here to adjust this location. Well, then you can just come down here, tap the I key, and you can click on the button for Insert Keyframes, All Channels. Well, what that's done is that's keyframed the location of your camera. So now if you were to click play like this, notice how over the course of 60 frames, this has moved our camera sideways. And so I feel like that was kind of slow, or kind of fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select these. I'm just going to tap the G key to move them. And I'm going to move them over to maybe like 120. So what that means is that camera is going to move at half the speed that it was moving before. So notice how I can move this sideways, just like this. All right, so you might have noticed that moving around inside of a space like this can be a little bit tricky when you're trying to do it by clicking and holding your middle mouse button and panning and all of that. It's really easy to go through walls. Well, there's actually an easy way to move around inside of Blender where you can get more fine control over this. So let's say, for example, I'm going to go ahead and delete these keyframes right here and just start at 0. So instead of you having to like rotate around here like this, and then scroll your mouse wheel and try to get things in place, what you can do instead, and we're going to go back to this point right here, is there's a little button called the accent grave. It's usually to the left-hand side of your 1 key on your keyboard. If you hold Shift and do the accent grave, notice how you get this crosshair in the middle of your screen. Well, then you can walk around like you could in a video game with the WASD keys right here. So what we could do is a lot of different things. So first off, I'm going to set my keyframe, in this case, to 120. And then I'm going to do a Shift accent grave. And I'm going to move my camera over here like this, right? So my camera's now in this location. I'm going to click in order to place this. And then I'm just going to go down here, tap the I key, and insert keyframes for all channels. So what that's going to do is that's going to now give me an animation where this flies through here and kind of orbits around based on my first person movement inside of Blender. So that's a really easy way to place your camera more precisely. It just seems to work better for interior locations. All right, so if you don't want to set individual keyframes in here, you could also set an auto keyframe. So what an auto keyframe is going to do is it's going to automatically add keyframes as you move around. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the button for auto keying right here. Then what you can do is you can click the play button and you can do the Shift tilde, and then you can move around. Well, notice what that's doing is that's automatically adding keyframes based on your camera location inside of your scene. So now if I click to get out of that view, notice how this is recording my movements based on the movements that I did while I was inside of the scene. So you can use that auto keyframing in order to quickly record a walkthrough of a scene inside of Blender, just like this. All right, so one other thing is what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these out. Whoops, I don't want to delete out the one over there. But I'm going to delete those keyframes out. And let's say that you just had a keyframe, maybe we'll do 120 frames again. All right, so let's say we had a second keyframe over here, like this. And we'll go ahead and we'll just insert a keyframe for all channels. What that's going to do is that's going to have us move from one location to the other, right? And one thing you might notice about this is right now what this is doing is this is kind of easing into the animation. So what that means is notice how it starts off slow and then the camera speeds up and then it slows down here at the end. And so let's go ahead and let's drag another window over here. And for this window, what I want to do is I want to click on the button for the graph editor. So if I go in the graph editor, and so notice how if I click the drop down right here, what I'm getting is I'm getting graphs for the movement of the different keyframes in here. So basically what that means is that I'm seeing in a graphical form the movement along the X, Y, and Z axes, right? So if I click in here and I move this, you can see how this is showing you where the movements are going to go. And notice how you've got a curve in here right now. And so the curve is kind of giving you an indication of the way the movement is happening. So if you look at this, you've got a curve that kind of starts off not so steep, and then it kind of moves into the steep movement, and then it moves back out like this. So that's indicating the way the camera is moving over here on the right hand side. So what we can do though is we can select those objects. So for example, I'm going to do a shift click and I'm going to select all of these items having to do with the movement. Well, if you right click in here, and so notice how there's options in here for interpolation type. And so what that means is you can use this to set the way that your camera moves inside of Blender. And so what I want to do is I want to set the 2 points right here for my X movement, because that's the biggest movement I have in my scene. Well, what I can do is I can right click in here, and under interpolation mode I can set the option for linear. Well, notice how when I set this to linear, what that means is my camera is going to move at the exact same speed this entire time, right? Like notice how it goes and then it stops. So you can use this to set that to linear. If you were to set it to constant, what it's going to do is it's just going to, at point 0, have your camera at this point. And so notice the Z movement in here. So you're still getting some movement on the other locations, but notice how if I drag this to 120, my camera is going to jump. And so what that means is that my camera doesn't have any kind of interpolation in here. It just moves from one point to another point right at 120. So you can use this in order to set the way that your camera moves. So for example, if I was to right click on here and go back to the Bezier option, and so let's say I wanted my camera to start off really slow. Well, what I could do is I could select this point right here with my interpolation set to Bezier, and then I could scale this out. And so when I scale this out, what that's going to do is that's going to make that ease in portion of my camera a lot slower. So notice how it really kind of eases in, and then it picks up speed a little later on in the scene. So you can use this to control exactly how your camera moves around inside of Blender when you're creating animations. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's export our rendered scene. And so for me, I'm going to do this using Eevee. So I don't want to do it in cycles because it's just going to take a really long time. So I'm just going to do all of this in Eevee. And so what I'm going to do is I've already gone through and I've already set up things like ambient occlusion and bloom and all of that, but this should render out really fast. One thing I do want to do is I want to start by setting up my animation settings so that my final frame is maybe like 140. So I don't have a whole bunch of just like boring camera sitting here type stuff going on. And I've only set up a little bit of lighting over here in the corner, but it should be good enough for what we're trying to do right here. And so what I want to do is I want to export this 140 frame scene. And so the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to go into my output properties right here, and I'm going to set my file format to FFmpeg video. So you can also do the AVI JPEG or the AVI RAW. I'm going to do the FFmpeg. And I'm just going to set the location for this, which in this case is going to be the folder where I'm saving this model. We're going to click on the button for accept. And so I think I've got this set the way that I want it to look. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to render. I'm going to go to render animation. And this is going to go through and this is going to render all those extra frames in here. So you can see how it's rendering each individual frame just like this, and it's got to go through and it's got to render 140 of them. So we're going to let it work for a little while and then we'll come back and take a look at what we've created. And so I'm going to go open the file that it created, which in this case is going to be this one right here. And as you can see, that's created a rendered animation of the interior of our scene. And for the amount of time and work that we spent on it, I think that the result is actually really good. I like the way that the motion looks and the lighting looks good. I could obviously spend some more time on the lighting, but creating the animation itself was actually pretty easy. So I will link to some other tutorials about animations inside of Blender in the links on this page. If you like what I'm doing in this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, so make sure you check out that link in the notes down below. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.